Hey guys, how are y'all today? Well, back in the garage again today. Got a little issue with my son's 2007 Toyota Camry. So I noticed a really black fluid leaking from the rear of the car last few weeks, and went to inspect it, and the rear struts are blown, and they are just puking fluid everywhere. So I did the right thing, went on Amazon, bought me a nice cheap set of struts. Whole set for $159. I mean, we're gonna try them out because they were $200 a piece at Amazon. So, I mean, at AutoZone and O'Reilly's. So at the normal auto parts. So we're gonna give these guys a try. I mean, what could it hurt? So we're gonna dive into this guy today and see if we can get these struts repaired on this '07 Toyota Camry. All right, guys, I got her jacked up. I do have her supported with jack stands. Always do that for safety reasons. So I got a jack and stands on it, so we're good to go. So we're gonna go ahead and take these rims off. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh yeah, this guy's bad. Let me get you guys in here so you can see. All right, here we go. So as you can see, this strut is just absolutely soaked with oil. And it is busted. Looks like it's been busted for a little while. So we're gonna get this guy removed. And one thing about a Toyota Camry that you guys probably didn't know is in order to get to the top of the strut, the back seat has to come out. You know, they couldn't have done it easy, you know, to where you could have access in the trunk. Nope, you gotta take the back seat out. So this is gonna be some fun. All right, well, here we go together. Let's see if we can get this figured out. There's supposed to be a clip on the underside of this bottom seat. Just to disengage with a flathead screwdriver. There's one. All right, there's two. Simple enough. Seat out. We'll get these little screws removed, which I believe is 12. See, 1, 2. two. There's four bolts total. Get this guy out. Ooh, a nickel. I'll take that. Mechanic code. Money in the cars. I'm on the mechanic. It's mine. Number 4. Surprisingly clean under here compared to the rest of my son's car. I see Hunt Brothers pizza box, which is probably going to smell good. And looks like an empty bottle of chocolate milk. I'm sure that's going to smell real good too. Some shoes, pencils, some more fun stuff. Yeah. So when you're doing your work for your kids. Okay. All right, let's get these seat belts pulled off the top. And said to remove the headrest. All right, so get these headrests out of the way. And supposedly, supposed to be able to just lift up on the seat. It disengages from the clips. Okay, got one side. Helps get the seat belt out of the way. There she goes. All right, she's been released. Woo! Not too bad. Just enough to kill me. Alright. Get on out here out of the way. Alright. Seats out. All right, get you guys in here so you guys can see. All right, as you can see, we got the seats out, got the bracing, got the little slides where the seats slide into. And look at here. Here is our 3 bolts for the top of our strut that needs to be removed. And on the other side. So we're gonna go ahead and get this guy zipped out real quick and put the new one in. Okay, I'm gonna get down here and go ahead and remove the brake line and the ABS cable from the strut. Get my light here. Hopefully you can see. All right. The brake cable, ABS cable is a 10mm. Get that guy out of the way. there. 12mm for brake line. At least everything's nice and preserved and not rusty from all that oil that's been busted out of these struts. So yeah, everything's coming loose nicely. All right, brake line's disconnected. Now, got to disconnect the sway bar. Get a 13mm. It's 14mm. Behind this. Oh boy, that sucker just used. Bar is disconnected. Put that screw right there. We don't want to lose that guy. All right, now it's time for the lower strut mounts. Again, 19mm for the lower strut mounts. One off. Number two. All right, let's see if we can spin this guy and get him loose. There we go. So all I'm doing is just working them out with the wrench or with the impact. All right, there's one. And we'll try to see if we can get this lower one off. It doesn't look like. Oh, there we go. Push right out. Okay. All right. So we're lower disconnected on the strut. Let's get these bolts off on the interior. I believe, if I can find my socket, and then roll off on me. I believe they're a 14mm. All right. Oh, 13mm. We're gonna fight some clearances with the seat belt. may have to go get my electric ratchet. I'm gonna be here all day. Yep, let's do that. I'm gonna stop this, get his electric ratchet. Okay, I'm back. This time I got my electric ratchet, which I actually bought on Amazon for like 39 bucks. This thing's been awesome. I did put a pin in the bottom there so that this strut wouldn't fall on the concrete whenever I go to make the top nut off. All right, there's two. All right, there's three. And it did kind of pop a little bit. It's okay, we got it. Alrighty, here she is. Boy, she is a busted girl. Get this guy out of the way. Man, I got grease everywhere. Okay. All right, so on these new struts, they are clearly marked. This one shows right. Of course, you always remember that right is driver's side, but it's orientated to where when you're sitting behind the wheel. So we do have new screws, so we're going to get these guys off. Oh, excuse me. You know what? I'm a big dummy. This is the left side. I almost made a mess up there. All right, so let's try this again. So always remember, left is your driver's side. So it's orientated the way you sit behind the wheel. So this would be your left side. So we'll go ahead and get these guys, these new screws off, new bolts off, or nuts rather. And we'll get this guy jabbed in here. All right, so I'm gonna take a few of these screws and get them started so that your strut don't fall down and hit me. One. There's two. There's three. All right. Now I'm going to just get these bottom bolts set for the time being. There's one. And two. All right. We got them in. We'll just thread them just a bit for the time being. We'll go ahead and get the top tightened up. Watch your cables. There's a cable that is like really close. get these top ones tightened. The one in the back corner of the strut on this top is real close to this seat belt reel. You have to have a really thin head ratchet in order to get the socket, because it has to be a deep set socket in order to get that guy on there. All right, we got it. Okay. All right. And we are torque to spec. We are going to torque to spec. I believe in torque spec. So the top bolts, or nuts rather, torque spec is 33 foot-pounds. One. Two. And three. All right, top is torqued. Now, let's go ahead and get our bottoms. So these have to be torqued to 133 foot-pounds, but setting my impact on the lowest setting so that I'll be able to torque these and not create any problems. Set with the impact, and we're going to torque them proper spec. It's 133 foot-pounds. Right there, okay. Just so you guys can see. All right, there's the top one. And some of you folks out there that don't believe in torque specs, think about that whenever you get your son. You're working on your son's car. I want to make sure everything is the way that it should be. Okay, all right. So we're reattaching the ABS cable right now. And then reattaching the brake cable. snug up these guys, the KBS cable. Okay. And then a 10mm all right. Now, go ahead and reattach our sway bar. That's it. This side is done. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get the other side knocked out and get this guy road test. Okay, fellas got her all torqued up, new struts installed. Time to get these seats reinstalled. Slip back in here. Get this one center seat belt. Nice and not twisted. Okay, so lift these guys just up so those top clips slip right back down into little catchers. Oop, that's not it. Definitely an awkward position here. Got one side. wrestler. That top center does not want to engage. Oh, there you go. Nope. She's definitely a fighter. Okay. Now I think I got her. Oh yeah. Woo. Okay. Yeah. There are 4 bolts back reinstalled. All right. Now, seat bottom in. Make sure you feed your seat belts through first before you push this guy down and get her locked into place. this side does not want to clip. Oh. I'll have to get the carpet out of the way. There she goes. Okay. Now, all right. We got her. All right. So it wasn't too bad a job. Taking the seats out, seems to be the hardest part. Gotta get the seat belt rerouted. But overall, not a bad job. Took me all of about maybe an hour, start to finish. You know, the video is not going to reflect that because I did cut out some stuff. But overall, not a bad job. Cheap fix. We'll see how these little $159 struts from Amazon work. They had good reviews. You know, figured if they last 2 years, we're good. But as always, guys, thanks for following. Thanks for watching. And you guys stay tuned for more content. I'll try to release some stuff here and there. You guys have a blessed day.